Are you tired of watching everyone else build wealth while you're stuck at square one? If you're starting with basically nothing in your bank account, drowning in debt, and feeling like the financial game is rigged against you, I get it. But here's what nobody wants to tell you. Starting from zero today might actually be the best opportunity you'll have in the next decade. I'm about to show you the exact mathematical pathway that takes you from broke to your first $100,000 and eventually to your first million. This isn't some get-rich-quick fantasy. This is a proven system that works regardless of market conditions, your current income, or how financially illiterate you think you are right now. Let me paint you a picture. You wake up tomorrow morning and check your bank account. Maybe there's a couple $100s sitting there, maybe less. Your credit cards are maxed out, you've got student loans breathing down your neck, and every financial guru on social media is telling you to invest in crypto or start a side hustle. Meanwhile, you can barely afford groceries. Sound familiar? Here's the brutal truth that most people don't want to face. Before you even think about buying your first stock or opening an investment account, you need to deal with the financial vampire that's sucking your future dry. I'm talking about high-interest debt. The biggest mistake I see people make is trying to invest their way out of debt. They think they can put money into some hot stock tip while carrying credit card balances at 24% interest. This is like trying to fill a bathtub with the drain wide open. The math simply doesn't work. You cannot reliably find investments that beat the guaranteed return of paying off high-interest debt. Let's break this down. Say you have $5,000 in credit card debt at 24% interest. If you only make minimum payments, you'll end up paying back nearly double that amount over the next 10 years. Every dollar of interest you pay is a dollar that isn't growing through compound interest. But debt doesn't just cost you money, it costs you freedom. When you owe money, you're afraid to take risks with your career. You can't negotiate from a position of strength or move for a better opportunity because you're chained to a minimum payment. So here's your first mission: the avalanche method. List every single debt you have, from highest interest rate to lowest. Ignore the balance amounts completely. Throw every spare dollar at the highest rate debt while paying minimums on everything else. Sell stuff you don't need. Cancel subscriptions. Treat this like the emergency it actually is. Once you've cleared that high-interest debt, do not celebrate by buying something nice. Get ready for phase 2. Most people think that once their debt is gone, they should immediately start buying stocks. This is a mistake that destroys most new investors within their first year. Here's why. Life happens. Your car breaks down. You lose your job. If all your money is tied up in stocks and the market happens to be down when emergencies hit, you're forced to sell at a loss. You've just locked in permanent damage to your wealth-building journey. You need a buffer, a financial fortress that sits between you and disaster. I'm talking about 3 to 6 months of basic living expenses in a boring, high-yield savings account. I know this feels like you're not making progress, because the money barely earns anything. But that stability is actually your secret weapon. This cash buffer changes your psychology. When you have months of expenses sitting in the bank, you walk differently. You negotiate differently at work. You aren't desperate, which prevents you from making emotional financial decisions. The primary way most people destroy their wealth. Calculate your absolute bare-bones survival budget: rent, food, utilities, basic transportation. Multiply that by 3 for your minimum target, 6 for your ideal target. Put this money in a high-yield savings account and pretend it doesn't exist. It's survival insurance. Only when this cash fortress is built do you look at investing. And this is where things get interesting, because everything you've been told about diversification is wrong when you're starting out. Conventional wisdom says to spread your money across different asset classes, some stocks, bonds, crypto, gold. But when your portfolio is small, over-diversification guarantees mediocrity. When you're building wealth, you need concentration. The temptation to pick individual stocks is overwhelming. Everyone wants to find the next Amazon. But professional fund managers with teams of analysts fail to beat the market over 90% of the time over 15-year periods. If they can't do it, what makes you think you can scroll through stock tips on social media? Here's what actually works. Buy the entire market through low-cost index funds. You're guaranteed to get whatever return the market delivers, which historically averages about 10% annually before inflation. Instead of trying to pick winners, you're simply avoiding picking losers. I know this sounds boring, but boring makes you rich. If you need excitement, put 90% of your investment money into broad market index funds. This is your core holding. Automate it and never touch it. Take the remaining 10% and allow yourself to be stupid with it. Buy a specific tech stock or crypto. If it goes to zero, your financial life continues fine. If it moons, great. This scratches the gambling itch without destroying your future. But even if you invest perfectly, you can still lose 30% of your wealth to taxes if you aren't strategic about where you put your money. The government gives you specific tax-advantaged accounts for a reason. A Roth IRA grows tax-free forever. A traditional 401k reduces your current tax bill. If your employer offers a match on your 401k, that is literally free money, a 100% immediate return you cannot beat anywhere else. Here's your waterfall strategy. Contribute to your 401k up to the employer match. Take the free money. Max out a Roth IRA. If you have a high deductible health plan, max out an HSA, which is triple tax advantaged. Go back and fill up the rest of your 401k. Only after all these tax advantaged buckets are full should you put money into a regular taxable account. To show you the math, if you invest $10,000 and it grows to $100,000 over 30 years, in a taxable account, you might owe 15% to 20% in taxes when you withdraw, costing you up to $20,000. In a Roth IRA, you keep the full $100,000. That $20,000 difference comes entirely from account selection. Now, all of this assumes you have money to invest. You can optimize your savings all you want, but there's a hard floor on how much you can cut expenses. There is no ceiling on how much you can earn. If you want to accelerate this timeline, focus on increasing your income. The latte factor is mostly nonsense. You can't budget your way to wealth on a $30,000 salary in today's economy. Instead of focusing on saving $5, focus on earning $5,000 more. Linear income, like driving for rideshare apps, caps your earning potential. But investing in high-leverage skills, like data analysis, specialized sales, or coding, can bump your primary salary by $20,000 or $30,000 annually. Look at your current job and identify the one skill that would make you undeniable if you mastered it. Dedicate 1 hour daily to learning this skill using free online resources. In 6 months, use that expertise to negotiate a raise or land a better position. Here is the complete roadmap. Phase 1. Eliminate high-interest debt using the avalanche method. Phase 2. Build a 3 to 6 month cash emergency fund to protect your investments. Phase 3. Open tax-advantaged accounts and fill them using the waterfall method. Phase 4. Invest primarily in low-cost index funds, keeping speculation to 10% maximum. Phase 5. Aggressively develop skills that increase your primary income. This isn't sexy. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme, but it is a get-wealthy-for-certain scheme. The math works whether the market goes up or down because you're playing a different game than everyone else chasing hot tips. Compound interest combined with consistent investing and tax optimization creates wealth that seems magical to people who don't understand the system. But there's nothing magical about it. It's just math applied consistently over time. The hardest part isn't understanding what to do. It's having the discipline to do it when it feels boring, when friends brag about crypto gains, and when social media screams about the next big opportunity. Wealth building requires you to ignore the noise and stick to principles that have worked for generations. Your biggest enemy isn't market volatility. It's your own psychology and the need for instant gratification. Master your mind, and the money follows. So let me ask you this. If you had to pick just one area to focus on first, would you tackle debt elimination, emergency fund building, or skill development to increase your income? Drop your strategy in the comments below. If you found value in this video, please like and subscribe to get notifications on the next wealth building strategy. See you in the next one.